we're talking about the future of our sport, and we have 5 persons that I would like to come and call up to the podium to talk about youth development.
Well, hello guys. I'm here on behalf of the Uruguayan Adventure Racers Association. We were established some 10 years back. We have a full-on national calendar every year of 10 to 12 races, and of course a national ranking. And as part of bylaws, and it's our mission to develop the sport of adventure racing in our country. That's why in the past 10 years we've been supporting athletes, teams and institutions to the matter in hand, youth development. Here are a few examples. This is the first example. This is Adventure Kids. This is organized by Chips Adventure Team, which is a journey for athletes to bring their under 12 years old for the first approach into adventure racing. They get a map, they do a treasure hunt where checkpoints are usually candies or treats, and there's the first approach in some navigation and multidiscipline, doing trekking, bicycle, and sometimes paddling. The other example is this. This is a sprint race that's a race organized by the professors of the PE National Institute. In this race, we were only bringing support, trying to get the young athletes into participating in a national calendar. And also we were joining the athletes during the course. And we just learned by telling these guys that we wanted to use this material in order to do the presentation, that they want now our support to introduce adventure racing as an assignment in the program of PE National Institute, which is incredible. For next year, they're going to have 20 class hours of mandatory adventure racing. Yeah, that's incredible. The third one is an invitation by Charrúa Extremo. It's a team. This is my team. What we do is we have an agreement with some race directors or sprint races and short races, in which we pay the entry fee for young athletes that we call in socials, and then we get our 4 to 6 athletes. We do a chat group, and we talk in the previous weeks. We talk about team organization, nutrition, equipment, and basically everything they need to know for the first adventure race. And then in the day of the race, if they want, they actually can join us. Sometimes they don't want to join us because they're much rather go much faster. But it's a very good approach, and we are getting more of this every year. And but none of these examples actually work if we don't have a sustainable, attractive structure for young athletes and for all kinds of beginners, for that matter. That's why when we were first approached by the Adventure Racing Working Group in order to form a future international association, we developed a couple of documents, and one of them was the IARC Plan to Grow, in which, after identifying basic needs in different structures in different countries around the world, there was a very ambitious plan of having a calendar of 3 to 5 sprint races in every country in the world. And in order to do that, we wanted to test it ourselves, and we put one of those races in the calendar, and to take adventure races, to level down the concept of adventure races to the very minimum, which is team sport, multidiscipline, and some navigation. And what we got as a result was this. This is a sprint race that we put in the calendar, 3.8 urban regain, 12 kilometers mixed urban gravel, and then 5 kilometers of trekking in a park, 11 kilometers mostly in asphalt, and 2 kilometers of paddling. This is basically the map that we have there, and the map of the trekking with a satellite image. And this is a structure that we had of the cost. It's less than $800, and we had 80 athletes in 40 teams We did a race that was 15 minutes away from a large city, and we actually charged from $0 to $12 the inscriptions. It was free from under 25-year-olds, $6 for members of the association, and $12 for members over 25 years old. Covering this basic structure of cost, and we actually think this is the best way to have an approach to young athletes and all kinds of beginners in adventure racing, because we are going to have at some point bigger races that are further away in beautiful places and have lots of different equipment and gear and necessities, but to have an approach that is very attractive for young athletes, we think this is the way to go. And that's 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Hi guys, my name is Andy Magness, and I'm here. I was asked to speak. I'm the kind of the coach and mentor of youth. I'm a elected Kiwi. I'm American normally, but I've chosen to live in New Zealand. Don't hold that against me tonight when things play out as they will. And so one of the things that I have found over the years, starting when I was back 25 and starting to adventure race myself, was that, and at first I thought it was just Kiwi kids. I'm not convinced that it's not kids in general. Is that youth are incredibly more capable than they're often given credit for. And in setting out to mentor this team, it wasn't a goal of mine. It was simply I was a grassroots race director, like many of you, in New Zealand, putting on anything from 6-hour road games in difficult bush to 48, 72-hour grassroots adventure races. And some of these kids that lived in farms down in Fjordland showed up, and they started crushing the races, crushing the rest of the field, and wanting to know what was next. And they're 15 and 16 at the time. And I had these experiences with kids before as a teacher, and I thought, well, let's give them an opportunity and see where they can go. And it's pretty incredible. I think that a lot of you have been following along and seen that this is kind of proof of concept that if we give kids these opportunities. And I say kids, they're 18 and 20 now, so I'm always going to call them kids. They'll be winning world championships in 5 years, and I'll say, oh, those are the kids up there, that's great. So sorry, guys, that's what you are to me, but it's just this really profound experience for me as a mentor, watching them a little bit heartbreaking as I watched my own career and ambitions completely destroyed the first time I took them out for a 12-hour, kind of jaunt. Okay. I'm going to assume that you could all hear me before. Okay. Anyway, so I'll wrap up. But just basically, my passion and hope is that if we begin with some of these other people developing, the youth and giving them the encouragement, is that what we're going to see in space is going to kind of change. When I started adventure racing, I was told that this was a sport for the experienced people. And I don't think that, while that's still true, I think experience helps a lot. I have found that when you give an 18-year-old body with great ambition to be racing at the top, the opportunity to do that, and you give them the funds and the resources to be able to choose this sport, like, cyclists at 17 they're racing all over the world, and they're going to be winning world champions. If we can find a model to allow kids, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, to actually engage in this sport at the top level, they will be competitive, and that's clearly been demonstrated here. So I just hope that we can work together as a group, and that's my passion and where I'm going to spend my energy is helping to develop youth racing around the world so that we can give opportunities to more of these teams and actually and keep the sport alive, right? As all the experienced fast teams like Seagate, Navaya, like they're gone now. There's a void. Let's fill it with youth.
Namaste everyone, this is Ajita from India and thank you so much. Is it okay? Okay. Alright, so I'm from India and we don't have many adventure racing teams from India, as you all know. And we have few teams from Asia and we have Jay from Thailand here and we have Team Eastwind, which we are very, very proud of. So we look up to them as our mentors. So for us, I have done adventure racing I have done one expedition races, and then we have done volunteering, we have done marshalling, and then we come to each race to learn more about the sport. And what we have realized is, okay, I got to know about adventure racing like 10 years back when I was in my 25s. And then, as Andy mentioned, that it requires a lot of experience to do adventure racing. But over the years, by being with all of you guys and meeting you at different races, it is important for us to build a platform where we can build, nurture, and provide an experience to all those teams. Why to wait for 30 years to get into adventure racing? Why can't we have one platform where we can have people start young, teach them that experience, give them what adventure racing is all about or what they bring to the table. It is not just endurance, which we have realized. It is more than that. It is team building. It teaches you how to take better decisions, how to be a better leader, or how to handle any situation in life. So it's basically for us, it's a lifestyle change. And that lifestyle change, we want to bring that in India. We are doing a lot of small workshops. We do adventure racing for kids at university, at schools. We host small trail park runs. And whatever we can to connect people with nature, to bring them outdoors, to show them there is something more than endurance and you can do as a team. So we are doing our bit, but what I would encourage or having a World Series providing as a platform where all the race directors, all the different countries, we can sit together, we can discuss how we can have athlete exchange program for adventure racing. Where we can provide each youngsters, each youth, a platform where they learn from different culture, from different athletes going to different countries. How we can build that community. I'm really proud to see Fear Youth, how they have performed, and I'm taking back that experience with me. And all the other teams I have met and I have spoken to them. So your experience matters to country who's just developing the sport. In Asia, we would like to see host World Championship in Asia, host qualify races in Asia, and host many youth teams to come into our country and experience the sport. But from our side, we are trying our bit, but we have to have a collaborative approach if we want to build the youth, if we want to have more people, because future is youth. Yes, we have seen it. But what we have learned over the years from all these experienced race directors, athletes, we have to take their experience and we have to share it with the younger generation. So let's do this together, and thank you so much for everyone.
Sorry, my shoes are coming off. I don't have a slideshow, so I'm it. Okay, so my name's Margaret and Mitchell, and I'm an educator at Lily Fontaine School in East London. It is an adventure-based school, so we're adventuring every single day. From, let's see, my grade 0 to grade 3, we focus on orienteering. Grade 4s also do orienteering, but we do farming and fishing. You never know when you need to catch a fish on an adventure race. Then my grade 5s, they do beach studies. 6 is do cycling, 7 do paddling, because I've got 5 minutes here, so I better go quickly. 8 do climbing, 9 do hiking, 10 do survival, and 11 pay it forward. So that's where your community come in. So our adventure curriculum forms part of the life orientation curriculum. So every term, each grade has an adventure day or an adventure camp. So I've just returned with the grade 7s. We've just been paddling on the Kawi. I didn't lose any. So it was, yeah, thanks. I know. I need a drink by the time I'm finished. Not on camp, of course. But anyway, so that is what we do. And then obviously in our 3rd term, because we have our adventure race, every single adventure day is focusing on adventure racing. We then also reach out. We also have some underprivileged teams where we will train them, and then they'll also take part in our race. Because also the children that are in the school, not many people just can have a bicycle or whatever. So we really try and stock up on bicycles or ropes or whatever, water bottles, tackies, whatever it is that they need, so that every child has an opportunity. With regards to our adventure program, it's all the fees are included in the school fees. So when they come, any child, it doesn't matter where they come from, whether they've got money or they don't have money, they all have this experience. And I mean, I know that I used to have a bucket list, but I mean, it costs so much to go and abseil. But here, these children, every single child, whether they come from a home, get the chance to abseil. And I mean, I just think that's epic. They get to go and paddle. I mean, these are all sort of luxury sports sometimes. If you look at it, it costs a huge amount. I mean, putting an adventure race together is not as cheap as just putting a trail run, or I'm not dissing trail runners or anything. I'm just saying it costs a lot more. Okay, so yeah, with regards to adventure racing, I mean, it's also, I'm like Heidi, you know, it's like when you give a pastor a microphone. Don't give an adventure race or someone who's passionate about adventure racing or passionate about children a microphone. Okay? I love the little guys. They keep you on your toes. But I love what they have to offer. And there's so many opportunities. We have so many races. As part of our school, we also have an adventure pursuits program. Yeah, I can still read that, okay, just checking my time, yeah. So it's the same as the President's Award. I'm going to speak a little bit faster. Where you go abseiling, you go skydiving, you've got to do 500k cycle, and then they all get awards for this. But this is self-driven, because adventure racing is self-driven. I mean, if you're going to fail, it's yourself. And this is, when I take the children as well, if I say, like I had the grade 7s now, and I said build a pyramid, but not like a pyramid going up like this. Only 2 feet allowed on the ground, and there's 10 in a team. Okay, so yes, it's like a huge, like on here, on here, on here, they're hanging from everywhere. But it took us about 5 hours. And because I have that time, I'm not in a classroom, so I don't have to limit you to your 40 minutes. It took us 5 hours. So the same as adventure racing, where you start and you're all so excited. I'm checking my time, I've got 30 seconds left, it's okay. You're so excited, and then you go and you got all your food and you got all your snacks, and then you're going to be heading along or whatever like that. And then you're going to get to a stage as well that you're not going to be talking to each other. And then you're going to be, because you're so tired, then you don't want to go, but you do want to go, or someone's telling you to go, and then you start motoring along, and then you've got one more leg to go, one more, and then all of a sudden you're just so full of joy. And then you can see the finish line, and then you cross that finish line, and the feeling is just overwhelming. But you made it through the blisters this big, cramps, whatever, stitches, whatever. You made it to the end, and that feeling, once you cross that finish line, of just being so successful, actually. But you've been through hell, but you finished. Which is so incredible, that feeling, and that's what we teach our children to do as well. I hope I covered everything that I was supposed to cover. I mean, I'm speaking as fast as I can. I'm trying to get everything in because he's just holding it up in front of me. Okay, so keep adventuring, and yeah, our little ones are coming because we have a race. Sorry, I'm going over. I don't know whose time I'm taking. Anyway, I have the grade 1s to 3s. They have their own category. Then I have the 4s to 5s. They have their own category in adventure racing, and I have to have cutoff and then I have 40 teams, and I have to cut it off because these little nunners just, I don't know, balls to the wall, if I'm allowed to say that. Yes.
Where is the school?
In East London. Eastern Cape, sorry. Yes, so there's a lot of those little ones coming up. I will hurt them if they don't continue adventure racing. I mean, I don't hurt them, but I'll dangle them off the climbing wall somewhere. I won't, jokes. But yes, they're all coming up, and I just believe it's the most amazing sport, and you know what it does to you, and you know how it grounds you and makes you appreciate so much. Okay, time's up, bye.
Adventure Racers, I am calling in tonight in a pre-recorded message from Vail, Colorado, and I am chirping in on kids' adventure races. We have put over 25,000 kids ages 6 to 14 on our race courses over the past 15 years, and have impacted at least 100,000 spectators, staff, volunteers, tourists, involuntary and voluntary, over the course of this time. And yeah, we start them young. The only requirement is they have to be off training wheels. And these race courses are for real. They are authentic. They're as pure to adventure racing, adult adventure racing, as we know, and can possibly squeeze into an hour and a half time frame, which is about kid appropriate. There are mandatory equipment rules, there are checkpoints, there is a map that they carry around, there is hiking, biking, water events. We put ropes in the course, there's zip lines and trolley traverses and double ropes traverses, and it's real. They'll go over waterfalls and through culverts, and it is real, and it's been an amazing journey, and it has transformed, and these are the parents' words, and we see it every time, many kids. The impact it has on the kids' empowerment and confidence, and the parents' confidence, where they trust their kids, they see that they can do things they never thought possible as long as you let them. We've seen alumni that become leaders after having raced for 8 to 9 years before they age out, and yes, they do come back every year and become leaders because they know what it's like to be on the course. So I have a lot of stories. I like to call them zero hero stories. It's been a journey, and it's amazing, and to the point of whether or not youth development is important for the sport of adventure racing. I can't speak to that completely. What I do know is that we help raise rough and tumble kids and empower them, and in a race format which has its own benefits. And they have certainly all been exposed to what adventure racing is, including all the spectators, as we always highlight what adventure racing actually is. So I can talk about this for hours, and I hope to speak with any and all of you after this conference. And we're hoping to expand into Europe, worldwide. Why not? Because every child that participates wants to come back and do it again, and the parents want them to do it again as well and be a part of it. It is a big deal here, so I would love to speak to particularly all race directors and see how we can collaborate and bring this mission almost to anywhere and everywhere. So that's my spiel. What follows is a 2-minute wrap-up on a promo video, so you can see what I'm talking about, what these kids are doing. And again, find us on kidsadventuregames.com. My name is Helen, and thank you for having me tonight, and please enjoy this fun little wrap-up. Bye for now.
I don't think there's another race like this in the United States. The Kids Adventure Games kept growing. Each year we got bigger and bigger. The parents loved it, the kids loved it, it exploded. Getting kids out of the house, getting them outdoors, and pushing them way further than what I think they ever thought they could do.
3, 2, 1. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job.
Most parents look at the course and go, "You got to be kidding me! My kid's going to do that?"
You have mountain biking, and then all of a sudden you're going to water, and then you're belaying down a cliff. And then you go into a mud pit.
The teamwork thing is huge.
My favorite part about the Kids Adventure Games is learning how to encourage each other and teamwork. It's definitely a lot more fun when you have someone with you.
They're pushing themselves, they're challenging themselves.
Sometimes it's really hard, but you just have to keep pushing.
Mainly, we want the kids to have fun.
The only thing we know how to do, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job.
The best part was definitely the zip line.
You should join because it's a really fun activity.
You can sign up for the race by going to kidsadventuregames.com.